All right, so you might be wondering why carbon is the element of choice for life. And I like to use this little analogy here. So we've got these little toys here with these little magnetic balls and rods. And as you can see, you can arrange them in all kinds of different shapes and structures, right? And that's what we need for life as well. In the previous video, we saw that life has these complex, large, three-dimensional structures. And that's what carbon is able to do as well. Just like these little balls and these sticks, the little balls can represent carbon atoms, and then these sticks are bonds. And so that's the magic of carbon, along with hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. They're really the elements of life, are like these toys above. And so carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, they can link together to form complex three-dimensional structures. And so what we call these complex three-dimensional structures are molecules, right? So they can link together to form these molecules. And then these molecules can combine to form, right, cells, which then make up life. And so just like we have these little toys here, you might have purchased an organic chemistry model pack, right, or a model kit that you can see right here. And you can see that you can arrange these black carbon atoms in all kinds of different ways, right? You can see you've got all kinds of different ways to arrange them. And so not only can we form these complex 3D structures, but we can form an almost infinite amount of them. And so since this is the basis of life, if we can learn the rules of these model, we can then manipulate it and use it to our advantage. Which is what being a human being is all about, right? We as humans use tools to make life easier, and now one of the tools that we can use is actually modifying the molecular structure of our compounds. And so we can use this for all kinds of different reasons. We can make new drugs. For example, pretty much every drug that you take is an organic compound, you know, aspirin, nicotine, all these kinds of different things, caffeine, they're all just organic molecules. Since we're organic beings, we react to these organic molecules. We can also make new materials. The biggest example of this will be plastics, right? Plastics are a relatively new thing, and they've really revolutionized our life, right? Every day you use plastic. And so if we can understand how these molecules work, we can make better plastics and that kind of stuff, right? And so that's really the magic of carbon. It has these versatile four covalent bonds. As we'll see later, carbon can form these single, double, and triple bonds, so it can make all kinds of shapes and structures. And then not only can it make these four bonds, it's also in this kind of Goldilocks zone of reactivity. And what I mean by that is that it's reactive enough to do stuff, but it's not so reactive that it instantly falls apart. Right? So we can modulate these compounds, and that's what your body does all the time, right? You eat food, your body breaks this down into little chains of carbon, and then we use these little chains of carbons to build back up to make you what you are, right? To build new cells, new skin, new hair, new nails, all this kinds of different stuff, right? So carbon is really the element of life, and if we kind of want to understand life, we've got to understand carbon and thus organic chemistry.